I don't think Mo played in the game last year up there in Minnesota, but you've seen him a couple of times, 2019. How good of a running back is he to face in the Minnesota game?
Yeah, one of the front runners for best running back in the Big Ten. Short bowling ball guy that runs dudes over and runs behind his pads and gets really low. But yeah, he's definitely a front runner. So we'll these last, like I think I said last week, these last 4 or 5 weeks, we're gonna see the best backs in the Big Ten and probably in the country. So.
What do you think about the challenge in front of you guys, just physically? Playing Illinois last week, then Minnesota, then Michigan, then Wisconsin. Now, you've played all of these teams. You know, what are you going to tell some of the guys that maybe weren't here last year? What this November is going to be like?
It's a Big Ten November. I mean, I don't really. Just reiterating, these guys already know. We've already been in some very physical games, and we're very physical, just not in our own team. So the guys know the standard. They know the opponents we're playing. But like you said, just reiterating that. Don't really have to tell anything new. Just reiterating how tough this November is going to be and how physical we need to be.
What's the challenge in stopping a Minnesota offense that converts third downs like they do? I guess what's the challenge physically and mentally too, and when they're getting all these third and shorts?
This has got to get them behind the sticks. Same thing with Illinois. They live in those 3rd and 3s, 3rd and 2s, 3rd and 4s. Getting those guys behind the sticks and having no gains or a negative gain in first and second down, and kind of messing up their scheme, their tempo on offense, what they want to do, kind of getting them off script. That's our job up front to stop the really good running back, get them behind the sticks, get them to throw the ball and have Tanner Morgan be a QB.
When a team like that's on a roll, is that almost more demoralizing than giving up one big play when they're putting together 12, 13, 14 plays in a row?
For me, it's more in the sense of control. When a team starts gunning down a drive, there's things that are in your control that when you're a defensive lineman, you can talk to your guys and be like, hey, these next set of downs, take a breath, calm down, do your job, stay in your gap. Don't start getting nervous or anxious because these guys are starting to drive. One big play is kind of out of your control. It's usually a bomb or something like that. But like I said, once you got to get those guys off script.
With Nick out this last week, how do you feel the communication was with those guys in the middle and just some of the other linebackers?
They did a really good job. Reimer wore that hat really well, and Mickey was telling him all week to be a bigger voice out there. And he's going to play a lot of snaps. He's going to have to know a lot and help Ernie and Vol when they're out there. And those guys that rotated back there did a great job. I don't think there's even one miscommunication. It might have been 1 or 2, but that's for 70 or 80 snaps. That's phenomenal. So those guys stepped up big time. Did a great job.
You haven't been on a team that has beaten Minnesota, right? I mean, how important? Obviously, in the grand scheme of things, I think the last win was 2018. So, I mean, how big of a deal is it? I mean, these guys have been kind of stuck in a crawl a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't really know that before you told me that. So, they're next. They're the next stop sign. I don't really. I mean, faceless nameless opponent. We know what our job we have to do. I can't really worry about that. Like I said, it's kind of out of my control. So I can. It's gonna be sick to go beat them. So stop that streak. But like I said, just control the things you control. We know what our job, what we have to do, and the players that we have to key on.
As a guy on the defense, how close do you pay attention to the offensive situation right now? A quarterback, kind of not knowing who's going to be your quarterback out there this week.
Those guys being my teammates, I know how hard that QB room works and how good of guys they are and how good of players they are, so I'm not worried about that. The coaches were putting us in the best situation, and who's ever out there has my full faith and trust to go get it done and run the offense.
What are some things each of those other quarterbacks, Chubb and Logan, do well when you had to defend them in practice?
Yeah, they do. They're really, really good runners. They run the ball really well. Chubb was a little, gunslinger, and Logan does a good job with the experience of knowing the offense, what to do. Chubb is being the new guy in the new system. So, but both of them are phenomenal quarterbacks, and they'll do a good job, and whoever they choose, like I said, they're going to do a great job. So.
One or two more for Garrett.
How do you feel like Coach Joseph has navigated you guys through these ups and downs of the season, and how much do you feel like being a defensive player, you've gotten to know him much better since he's taken over?
Yeah, I can't. He's done probably the best job anybody could do in the situation that he was put in, and especially we have been put in. He quickly found out how much he actually, he cares about us through going through all this, stuff behind the scenes that you guys don't see. But he's done probably the best job anybody else could do, and I can't thank him enough for it. He's put us in the best situations. He's talked to us. He's managed us. He's really been there for everybody on the team for whatever they need going through this roller coaster. So he's done a phenomenal job.
You said that the coaches are working with Chubb on trying to talk to him after every play and sort of build up his confidence. How have you seen him progress in that regard?
Yeah, well, I would like to think Chubb was a pretty confident guy, but you start hearing it from other people, I'm sure you're kind of your hype man, trying to hype you up. But that guy has enough internal confidence that, I wouldn't think he would need that, but I'm sure the support's awesome. But like I said, if he's the guy, he's going to do a great job. Full faith.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Appreciate it, guys.